Today's shiur is visiting the Temple Mount Kosher. Don't throw no rotten tomatoes at me, please. Even Rav, because Rav, no rotten tomatoes, Dina. Check him at the door. Rav Kreuzer, the Rosh Yeshiva of Rayon HaYehudi, who encourages people to go to the Temple Mount, wrote a whole book, but he says as follows, that you have to go to a kosher mikvah to be toivel. And he says, before that, there's Rav Kreuzer, he wrote a book on it, and many people don't talk about that. You can go if you know where to go, but he says, Lifnei hatfilah, tzorech lirchoitz heitev kol haguf b'mayim chamim. The mikveh doesn't help unless first you wash your entire body with what? With mayim chamim, hot water, l'sarek et sarot harosh, and then you have to comb your hair of your beard and of your head. Very good. If there's any tanglements, the mikveh does not help. You hear that? Mi shaloi, this is Rav Kreuzer writing, the one who encouraged go to Temple Mount. Mi shaloi hitrachetz. Mi shaloi hitrachetz. V'loi bodak et gufay lifnei hatfilah. A guy who doesn't bathe before he goes to the mikveh, and he doesn't check himself that all of his fingernails are clean and his hair is untangled, Layosa, even though he goes to the mikveh does not help. It's like he didn't do anything. It's like this is Rav Kreuzer writing. So if you don't make a proper bedikah before what? The mikveh doesn't help. You go up there, to a person's chayiv karet. So a lot of people don't want to know that, right? But this is Rav Kreuzer writing. If you take a look at the sheets in front of you, if you don't have one, please look in with your neighbor. Everyone has one? Baruch Hashem. This was printed in the 1920s, David, by Chief Rabbi Avram Yitzchak Cohen Cook, Zecher Tzadik Yevracha. I'll read it to you. Don't confuse me with the facts. My mind is made up. Rivka, you have that? This is Rav Cook writing for the 1920s. Hazor el Rabim. This is a warning for the people. Me'esh Rabbeinu Hagodol Ago in Yisrael. Moshe, you have one? You told her to make it cooler? Yeah. Thank you. Maran Avraham Yitzchak HaKohen Cook Shlita. Rosh Rabbani Eretz Yisrael. Achenu HaYekarim. You have that? Yeah. My dear brothers. Haboyim Le'ir Kochenu Yushalayim. Who come to our holy city of Jerusalem. Mikor Merochoik. Be very careful. Isra Chamur. What does that mean? Isra Chamur. Severe Issa Shalachnisa Lamokoim HaMigdash Bahar Abayit. Don't you enter the Migdash or anywhere in the Har Abayit. Who's writing this? Not Rav Avadia Yosef. Who's writing this, Sonia? Rabbi Cook in the 1920s. Say what? Now you have it in English. In case you don't get it in Hebrew, now you have it in English. A public warning by His Eminence, Chief Rabbi of Eretz Yisrael, A.I. Cook, our dear brethren who come from far and near to visit the holy city of Jerusalem, be warned. And remember that is strictly forbidden by Jewish law and religion, say what? To enter the temple area or to ascend the Har Abayit. This is written by Rav Cook in the 1920s. Hello. Now the bottom sign, Moshe, this is a sign written in Greek. It's Greek to me, David. This is a sign that they found from 2,000 years ago, written in Greek, warning non-Jews not to enter the Temple Mount on pain of death. It's Greek to me. It's written in Greek, because what was the English of the ancient world? Greek. It's Greek to me. So this is a sign. The original is in the Israel Museum, where it's a sign warning non-Jews beware, danger, do not enter the Temple Mount on pain of death. Okay. So what? Can we hang it up again? But not in Greek, in Arabic. What? It's Greek to me. Okay. So going up to the Temple Mount. So you can, certain areas you're allowed to go, we'll talk about it, but only if you make a proper immersion. But the immersion will not help unless you do a proper bedika before immersion, just like a woman for a nida. The sale, and we'll talk about that.
Everybody that goes out there now does that.
Halavai, from your mouth, Dina, to God's ears. Huh? But who is the mikveh lady watching the man to make sure, or the mikveh man watching the man to make sure that what? That his hair is untangled and his beard is untangled. Right?
It's on his head. Wait a minute, but that's according to whom? You said
According to everybody. Oh, so certain rabbis say it's forbidden totally. Why? Because they don't trust you to make a proper b'dik and tefillah.
Wow.
So everybody agrees a certain area so you can go. But they're afraid, lifnei iver lo titen mirshol. If you didn't do the proper b'dik and the tefillah, chayev karet. Does a rabbi want that on his shoulders? So therefore, every chief rabbi, Masha, from Rav Kook on, the 1920s, every chief rabbi, Haredi or what, Mizrahi, have all issued Rav Kook's warning. Because they're afraid that what? You will not make the proper b'dik and the tefillah. They don't want that on their conscience, okay?
Well, they educate the people so they know.
Okay.
Well, that's what he's doing
But
now.
you want me to translate what?
Because people don't listen.
Hashem, right? Adalet, right? Hashem, I'm back to the paper. Underneath, Achnisha l'mokam migdash v'harabayit. You have that? That's underlined. Shel Achnisha, you don't have a paper, please look in. You have it? Dina, this is Rav Kook, the first one. You're not impressed with Rav Kook? Hashem yechaneneu b'nochem. Hashem should what? Give us the proper what? Intention, V'tzur Yisrael, and the rock of Israel, Yerenu b'shu'asai, we should see Binyan Tzion b'meher v'meinu b'karav amen. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send the Gula, we'll be able to go up there, we'll have the proper what? The red cow ashes, etc., etc. So every chief rabbi, since the first chief rabbi of Palestine, has issued this blanket what, Rivka? Prohibition. But some people say, don't confuse me with the facts. But before we get to there, when did the conflict over who controls the Temple Mount begin? 67. In 67? No. Dina, I beg to differ. It began almost 6,000 years ago. Yeah. To be exact, it began 5,777 years ago. What year are we in now? 5777. Fasten your seatbelt, Sonia. At the very dawn of human history, the Medrash Rabbah says that why did Cain kill Hevel? They fought over control and sovereignty over the Temple Mount. So the conflict didn't begin in 1948 or 1967. The Medrash Rabbah, and I'll prove it to you soon, the Medrash Rabbah says that the original war over who controls the Temple Mount was fought at the dawn of human history, David, when Cain killed Hevel. Now, how do I know that? It says, Vahi basodeh. Cain killed Hevel, they were in the field. Who cares where they were? Maybe they were in the bar. Then Yovan, why should I care? Vahi basodeh. Who cares where Cain killed Hevel? Maybe it was in a back alley somewhere.
There weren't such things then.
They weren't even back alleys.
There weren't even front alleys. Why is it important he killed them basodeh? The Torah is not Sipurim, the Torah is GPS, God's personal system. Says the Medrash Rabbah, where do you find the word basodeh? In Parshas Chaye Sarah. Vayetze Yitzchak l'suach basodeh. Yitzchak went to daven basodeh. Says the Gemara Psochim, Peiches, where did Yitzchak go to daven?
In the field.
What does a sodeh mean? Harabayit.
Why?
The question is, why is the Harabayit called sodeh? Well, stay tuned. Yeah. But anyway, the Gemara Psochim, Peiches says, Vayetze Yitzchak l'suach basodeh. Yitzchak went to daven in the field. Who cares where? Field. So the Gemara Psochim says the field is a euphemism for Harabayit. Yitzchak went to daven Harabayit. So it says the word basodeh by Yitzchak. It says the word by Cain and Hevel, what? He killed him basodeh. So the Medrash Rabbah says that he killed him over who is going to control Temple Mount. So David, sound familiar? The conflict is only 6,000 years old. Now the question is, why is the Temple Mount symbolized by what, Nadina? Field. What happens in a field? A field is a symbol of growth and development, right? You plant the seed, and that seed becomes a great bounty and harvest, right? So too, when you go to the Temple Mount, in the days of the Beis Hamikdash, you would plant one spiritual seed, and you'd reap a huge spiritual harvest. So therefore, the Temple Mount is compared to what? A field. So anyway, it didn't begin in 48 or 67. It began at the dawn of human history. Cain killed Hevel over who's going to control the Temple Mount. So, going up to the Temple Mount. So, certain areas you can go if you make Tefillah first. Okay? Yes. But the Tefillah that you do is Minat Torah. It's Minat Torah. And the poskim say, this is from Rav Kreuzer, okay? He says, when you go to the mikveh, before you go to the Temple Mount, you have to make a bracha. Ashe kirishonu b'mitzvosav v'tzivonu ala tefillah. Just like when ladies go to the mikveh, when they're finished their nida period, Rav Kreuzer says, when a man goes, in order to cleanse himself from tumas keri, to go to the Temple Mount, he has to what? Make a bracha ala tefillah. He should dunk once, and then make the bracha. And then dunk again. You hear this? So he has to make the bracha b'toch hamayim. Now you can't make a bracha when you're naked. But if you're standing in the water acts like a garment. It's just like a lady makes a bracha when she's a nida, and when she's standing in the water. So Rav Kreuzer says the same thing when a man makes tefillah. So he should stand b'toch hamayim. The mayim acts like a garment. It covers him up. It's hibuchuseh at savoroi. He's covered until what? At savoroi, his neck. And she put on yichaset rosh. And while he's in the mikvah, he should make the bracha, and then dunk again, like the ladies do. Yeah. So, but again, that only helps for tumas keri, or tumas nida, or tumas sheretz. But tumas meis, a mikveh will not help. A tumas meis, you need what, David? The red, not the mad cow ashes, you need the red cow ashes, which we don't have. Which we don't have, right? Now, Yaakov Avinu slept on the Temple Mount. He says, Ma nora hamokim hazeh. Ma nora hamokim hazeh. He said, Zeh beis Elokim, v'zeh shar hashamayim. Why did Yaakov call the Temple Mount the gate of heaven? So Rashi says, Mokoim tefillah la'alot l'shamayim. All prayers, wherever you daven in the world, even in Borough Park, in order to get to heaven, it has to what? Go up to the Temple Mount. Because Beis HaMikdash shel mala muchuvan keneged Beis HaMikdash lamata. It's parallel. Wow. And therefore he called the place Bet El. What does Bet El mean? House of God. That's house of God, right? So the problem is that today many people will not make a proper tefillah, and even if they do make a proper tefillah, that only helps on what? If you go to a certain area. If you step one step beyond, and who knows what that Ezras Yisrael is, then the mikveh will what? The mikveh won't help. So therefore many of the great rabbis said that what? You shouldn't go up there at all. Beginning with Rav Kook, Rav Mordechai Eliyahu. But there are great rabbis who say that you're permitted to go there if you make what? Proper tefillah first. Who are they? The Radvaz, the Rebbe of the Ari, and modern rabbis, Rabbi Chaim Hershenson, Rabbi Chaim David Halevi, Rabbi Shlomo Gorin, Rabbi Yosef Kapach, Rav Dov Lior, Rav Shlomo Riskin, Rabbi Nocham Rabinowitz, Rabbi Chaim Druckman, have all ruled that it is permissible to enter only some parts of the Temple Mount, only after proper immersion. Everyone agrees that you have to make what? Proper immersion. Right? Proper immersion, which means a bedika first.
How long does that last?
What?
The immersion, I mean, it's immediate to the Temple?
It's good. So it has to be that day. Rav Kreuzer writes, it has to be your Tful Yom that day. Right? So if you want to go tomorrow, you got to what? Dunk again.
That's for men.
Who's ladies too?
Well, that's
Rav Kreuzer is speaking about men. He says that Tful Yoim Muta Bahar Abayit, but that day, and when you're going to go tomorrow, you got to what? Dunk again. Okay? And you have to make a proper bedika again. But other great rabbis like Rav Eliyahu, Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, and what? And other great rabbis say that you shouldn't go up there at all because we're afraid, number one, that the bedika will not be what? Proper. And even if it is proper, if you step beyond the line into the court of the Israelites, mikvah, even a proper tevilah, won't help because there you need what? Tumat mei. You need what? You need what? Red cow ashes, which we want, which we don't have today. And Rabbi Yosef over here brings the story of Moshe Montefiore. Anybody remember him? Moshe Montefiore, he put himself in a box, and they carried him up to what? To the Har HaBayit. Inside a box, he figured if he's in a box, then he's protected from whatever. But when he came out, the rabbis of Jerusalem, this must be over 100 years ago, put him in Cherem. They put him in Cherem. Why are you going up to the Temple Mount for? Right? Moshe Montefiore. Now, Rabbi Yosef has a whole tshuva over here. What about flying over the Temple Mount? What about flying over the Temple Mount? Huh? He says you're not allowed to fly over the Temple Mount either. Why can't you fly over the Temple Mount? Because the Kedusha, right, goes all the way up. And you're Tameh in a helicopter, you're not allowed to fly over there. You're not allowed to fly over there either, he says. Rabbi Yosef says that. V'osa gam latus b'matos, or b'helicopter. B'bnei shehakdusha chala gam al avir hazara adarakia. U'mitzvah rabbah, says the great Rabbi Yosef, a mitzvah rabbah. How do you say that in English? It's a great mitzvah, lefarsei ma'isur, to publicize the prohibition of going up the Temple Mount, and let the people know, she'avon karetu. If you go up there without a proper tefillah, or even with a proper tefillah, if you walk beyond a certain point, and who knows where that point is, avon karetu. Isra chamor. Why play Russian roulette with what? With your eternity. Right? And he quotes, Kosher tumas meis. Rab Shimon says in the Tosefta, Kosher tumat migdash yote mikol averi shebetorah. Going up to the Temple Mount, if you're not in a proper state of kedusha, that sin is kasher. How do you say that? Is more difficult. Mishar kol averi shebetorah. You hear that? Frightening. And he quotes, according to the halacha, the Rambam and other poskim, that the kedusha of the Beis HaMikdash is eternal, even though the building is not there. V'lechein, said Rabbi Yosef, asur li'kones bezman hazeh lahar habayit afilo achat tefillah. Oh. V'lechein asur li'kones bezman hazeh lahar habayit afilo achat tefillah. Even after tefillah, because the rabbi says maybe you'll step one step beyond, and where tefillah won't help. If you walk into the court of the Israelites, tefillah doesn't help. So therefore, he says, don't go up there. What? Right? And certainly just to go for a tiyul, we learn that you're not allowed to take up spatzir on the Temple Mount. Even if you're tor, and you know where you're going, you're not allowed to go up there for how do you say spatzir? A tiyul. Right? And you're not allowed to go up there, b'bnei achama, b'nei geshem, v'chein posuk Rambam, there's a din of Moira Migdash. You're only allowed to enter the Temple Mount if you know where you're going, only l'dvar mitzvah. How do you say that in English? Only l'dvar mitzvah. Only for a mitzvah. To daven. So why go up there? So why go up there? 1 minute. Hello, the Gemara Megillah 28 says that you're not allowed to go up to the even if you're tohar and you know where you're going. Ein mitaylim boy. You're not allowed to go up there for a tiyul. Megillah 28. You're only allowed to go up there l'dvar mitzvah. So if you can't daven up there, Moshe, what's the dvar mitzvah? The Torah says in Parshas Chukas, David. Let me read that. Chukas, Bamidbar 19. V'isha sheyitma, a person that's tamei, v'lo yischata, and he didn't get spritz with the paraduma, and he goes up there, v'nichrata, he's going to get cut off. Ki es migdash Hashem timei, because he defiled God's migdash. And defiling God's migdash, says the Tosefta, is more severe than any aveira in the Torah. Yes, what's your question?
Listen, no matter what the Jewish laws are about the Beis Hamikdash,
Right.
we today are outnumbered by millions of Muslims that want to attack us if we go up there. So if we go up there, we're causing like a million like bulls.
That's right. We're waving a red flag.
So they're going to attack us. So that's Mekuach Nefesh.
That's what Rav Yitzchak Yosef just said. Rav Yitzchak Yosef last Shabbos night says another reason not to go, even though you're going to mikveh, you're antagonizing them and you're causing the spilling of Jewish blood, chas v'sholem. You're waving a red flag in front of... Rav Yitzchak Yosef said that Motzei Shabbat at the Yazdi Shul. Your point, he said.
You know what?
Why wave a red flag in front of a wild bull? So anyway, Rav Mordechai Yo writes, he writes that you shouldn't go up there because you don't know where you're going, and even if you're taking a mikveh, you walk one step beyond. He says that the chayalim who have to go up there, he would tell them where to go, and he would tell them the mikveh to do a proper bedik and tefillah. The chayalim, he tells them be'eze mekomot muta lahem lios, be'eze mekomot muta rak be'et bekuach nefesh. You hear? Rabbi Yosef said, no, Rabbi Leo said, that in Bekuach Nefesh, you have to defend Klal Yisrael. If you're allowed to eat on Yom Kippur to save a Jewish life, you can certainly go up there to save a Jewish life. But that's only a soldier, David, in the line of duty. Otherwise, he's only allowed to go up to a certain point, and he has to go to a mikveh and wear sneakers, etc. But if he's saving a life, to protecting Jews, then it's Bekuach Nefesh, and Bekuach Nefesh is what? Is Doiche Kol Torah Kula. Bamidbar 19, a person that's tamei goes up there without cleansing himself with the red cow ashes. He's chayev karet ki es migdash Hashem timei. He has defiled God's sanctuary. He meant well. Bamidbar 19 says ki es migdash Hashem timei. He defiled God's sanctuary. V'nichrata. He's chayev karet. Okay? By Midbar 19. That's what it says.
Can we build on an area that's defiled?
What do you mean build an area?
It's no longer holy? Is that what it means?
No, the area is holy. We are defiled. We don't have a red cow. We're all tumas meis. Tumas meis, you need the red cow ashes. Mikveh doesn't help. Mikveh only helps for certain areas on a Temple Mount. But who knows where that magic boundary is? You take one step beyond, even though you went to the mikveh properly, but if you step one step too close, you're chayev chorus anyway because you didn't get what? Spritz with the red cow ashes. So who wants to take a chance? Who wants to play Russian roulette with their eternity? Moshe, you want to play Russian roulette with your eternity? But I meant well.
And hell is lined.
They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Who said that? Winston Churchill. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I don't know. Now what's going to happen when Mashiach comes? Fasten your seatbelts. Isaiah 56:7. Dina, you're not going to like this, but Isaiah 56:7 says as follows. Ooh. When Mashiach comes, we're going to get rid of all the Arabs, right? But Isaiah 56:7 doesn't say that. I will bring them to my holy mountain in Jerusalem and will fill them with joy in my house of prayer. I will accept their burnt offerings and sacrifice on my altar because my temple will be called a house of prayer for all nations. All nations. V'avoisim al har kodshi v'semachtem veis tefilasi ki beiti beit tefillah yikore l'chol amin.
That applies to the ones who don't murder.
Right, I agree. It doesn't apply to the terrorists. It applies to the decent non-Jews. The decent non-Jews, God also calls them to what? To worship in the Beis Hamikdash. But that's only when what? When Mashiach comes. Ki beiti beit tefillah yikore l'chol amim. Not just for the Jewish people. The Beis Hamikdash is going to be a house of prayer for the UN and the EU, not the murderers, of course. But it's amazing when Shlomo HaMelech dedicates the first Mikdash. You know what he says, Dina? You're not going to like this either. Shlomo HaMelech in Kings 1, chapter 8. Please hear me. In Kings 1, chapter 8. Some people say, don't confuse me with the facts. In Kings 1, chapter 8, when Shlomo HaMelech dedicates David, which temple? The first temple. V'gam el hanochri. What does that mean? Also to the alien, not from outer space. V'gam el hanochri. And also to the non-Jew. Asher loy me'amcho Yisrael. Who is not part of your people Israel. What?
Let him finish.
I didn't finish it. Kings 1, chapter 8. V'gam el anochri asher loy me'amcho Yisrael. And also the non-Jew who's not part of the people Israel. Ubo me'eretz v'choka. Where's the Eretz v'choka? America. Leman shemecha. Ubo v'hitpalel al habayit hazeh. He'll also come and daven in this house. Ato tishma. You, God, have to hear the Nochri, who comes from Timbuktu. You have to hear his prayer. V'asita kechol asher yikra elecha hanochri. And you should do according to all that the non-Jew has called on you to do. Why? Leman yedun kol amay haaretz. So all the nations of the earth will know liyira otcha, to fear you ka'amcha Yisrael. Like, right. V'ladat, and they should know ki shimcha nikra al habayit hazeh asher baniti, that your name is called in this house that I what? Built for you. So the Beis HaMikdash, even from the first Beis HaMikdash, was supposed to be, David, a universal house of prayer. Not just for the Jewish people. Not just for the Jewish people. What?
Not for the Jewish.
What?
Now today.
Now it's Olam Hafuch. Right? So Shlomo should have been davening for us too. Why is he davening only for the Nochri? Why is he davening only for the non-Jew? Right? That you should hear his prayer. Just like a Jew. God, don't show no favoritism to the Jews. King Solomon was very liberal, I think. Would you call him progressive, Benjamin? We'd call him progressive. Kings 1, chapter 8.
But this was for people that accepted God as
I believe,
one,
yes.
Hashem as
Right,
one.
right.
Well,
Not the
these people are
murderers.
accepting
Not
Hashem
the murderers. I agree with you.
This is all
Not the murderers, right? Not
This is
the
Allah. This is not
what?
Hashem.
What? So anyway, there's a.
You still haven't told me why I wouldn't like it.
Okay, Baruch Hashem, you like it. Thank God you like it, right? Okay, I take it back. You do like it, Baruch Hashem. So anyway, if you know where you're going and you can do a proper tefillah, so you should go with Rabbi Kreuzer, with Rav Nachman Kahana, because they know where to go.
We want that
But that's to go stam. Rav Chaim Richmond, he knows where to go, and he asks you specifically, did you make tefillah? Did you make bedika? I hope they're not, when they say yes, I hope they're not lying. I hope they're not lying, right?
It's only their own problem.
What?
If they lie,
If they lie, but you facilitate them. If they lie and you take them up there, I don't want that on my conscience, do you?
No, but it's
What?
on their head.
I'm not
It's on
taking
their head.
anybody anywhere at the moment, so
It's on
it's
your own
only
head.
academic.
But now they're saying that.
What? And also, you can't wear leather shoes up there. You can't wear, you have to wear sneakers, right? You have to wear sneakers.
But isn't that only if you go in where it's kadosh?
But you know, yeah, any place, even the Tumas Keri, you can't wear leather shoes. Even the outer perimeters, you can't wear leather shoes anywhere in the Harabayit.
Have you been up there?
No. I follow Rav Kook, I follow Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, and Rav Avadia Yosef, right? And Rav Lau, they all say you're not to go up there. Why take a chance with your eternity, you know?
Because we want it back.
Yeah, but we want it back. It makes me feel good, right?
We have to show Hashem we want it.
So-
Same way the people
So,
they want it.
the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I have to show Hashem I want it. So I'll go up there whether I'm doing the right thing or not. I'll go beyond,
Hashem by davening.
right? So Hashem, you want it, right? Right?
Get them to attack us.
That's right.
Not the way
not screaming.
That's right. We have a class Thursday at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.